This is my informative speech, and this is my audience. Okay. According to AutoZone.com, you should change your car's oil every 5,000 miles to ensure your engine runs smoothly for thousands of miles to come. And according to HowMuchIsIt.org, the average oil change costs around $30 without an oil filter. But if you were to do it yourself, it could cost up to $20 with an oil filter. In order to change your oil, we can break this process up into 3 easy to follow steps. Draining the old oil from your car, replacing and removing the old oil filter, and refilling your car's engine up with oil. Before we begin, you should do a couple things and gather some tools. The tools you're going to need is a socket wrench and set, an oil filter socket, an oil filter, oil, a trash bag to catch the old oil with, a bucket, and maybe an oil pan. You're also going to need some towels for cleanup. Before we begin, you should let your car idle for about 10 minutes so that the oil warms up so it'll flow out smoothly. You should also raise your car up with either automotive ramps or a jack stand. Now let's begin. The first step is draining the old oil. To begin, you're going to locate the oil pan on the underside of your car. Here, you can remove the drain plug using a 17mm socket, but make sure you have your bucket on hand to catch the oil that spills out. You may need a couple rags depending on to clean off your hands. While this empties, we're going to move on to step 2. In step 2, it kind of depends on your car, but we're going to replace the old oil filter. The oil filter will be either located in your engine bay like this picture, or under it next to the oil pan like this one. And based off the oil filter, depends on how you set it up. If you have a enclosed oil filter like this, you're going to need to prime your oil filter. To do this, you're going to pour almost a quart of oil into the oil filter until you see no bubbles coming out. If you have an oil filter like the one in the middle, you're going to need to remove it and remove the old one, replace this one, and it should come with a set of seals that you're going to replace also. You're also going to need to grease the threads so that it stays oil tight. After this, retighten your oil filter into the hole, either in your engine bay or on the other side, and retighten the oil pan bolt. Now we move on to the last step. The last step is to refill your car's oil. What you're going to do is you're going to find the dipstick in your engine. It should be yellow, and you're also going to find the oil cap. Make sure to have your funnel on hand. You're going to place the funnel inside of the oil cap so you can fill up your car's oil. In order to know how much oil you're going to need, you should look in your owner's manual located in your car. It should be oil change with an oil filter because it depends. You're also going to find the dipstick and clean it off. After you've filled up your car's oil to the specified amount, you should then use the dipstick to check and see the oil level. If it is too much, you're going to need to remove some oil because this can lead to problems with a high oil pressure. And if it's too little, just add a little bit more. After this, back your car down the ramps because you're almost finished. You should let it sit for a couple minutes because it may change the oil level since your car was on an incline. After this, check your oil level again and then close your car. Congratulations, you've just completed your first oil change. Thank you.